Okay, this is going to be a call with the notorious Ralphie the Roach over the whole Florida Beauty Express, everything that went on, 2016, right after the BP freight opening through November of 2018, actually October of 2018. So this is the time then that Kevin and Ralph, using Ralph's 4 companies, steal the NTS Fleet Group Amazon account, therefore cutting me out of any part of it, and split it amongst Kevin's new company and Ralph's current companies. And yes, I do have everyone's number memorized.
But why? Oh, because you're finishing it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Steve.
Yeah. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Oh, well, it's a mix of things. But first of all, how are you? How was the holiday? How are things?
Everything is wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, except for the state of the world government and the state of the leadership of the United States and the state of a lot of things. But listen, is this a good time to talk? Because if it is, I'd like to take about 5 minutes. If not, I can set up a time with you.
That's perfect.
Okay. So right now, do you just still have Tempest and FBE, or do you have some new operating companies for the transportation side?
I'm sorry. Can you say it again?
You know how Tempest is one of your companies, and then there's FBE, which is the other transportation company.
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any more than that now, or just still with just the 2?
Florida Beauty Express, Florida Beauty Flora, and Tempest Transportation.
Okay, because here's what I'm getting at. We're not going to discuss the Amazon account that I talked to you about in 2018 and even spent 6 weeks down there meeting with you over. The situation I have with Kevin Eck, we can discuss that at a different time. I'm not going to spend any time on our years of 2016 or 2017. That's a different set of conversations. And then I'm going to cover something you said in our last conversation that's very important first, and then I'll get to the lesser important second. I'm not going to have a lot of time past this point to spend on anything, and at the same time, you choosing to invest in and invest with what I'm wanting to do, well, that would change that. I'd have a lot of time then. And, I'm going to go over just some things that, I've shared with you in our relationship. I've shared with you that the Jewish people don't need to get wrapped up in Daniel's 70th week, don't need to fall for the false prophet, don't need to get wrapped up in the Antichrist, and need to enjoy the millennial kingdom. That's the shortest version. And I have talked to you now for 6 years about faith things, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so that's everything. That's that in a nutshell. Now, on this side of the coin, I can send you the video. In fact, I will send you the video. There's a phone video I can send you. It's 1 minute. It was actually taken today in the Chicago area. It was taken impromptu when one of the customers I'm dealing with was actually, one of their trucks was making a local delivery. And it was for Burger King. And what I'm calling you about is the McDonald's account and the Starbucks account here in Chicago or in the Midwest, those 2 accounts, and there's a third and a fourth. And what I'm calling you about is this. There is a retail services transportation company. There's actually 3 of them that will end up operating these routes or these accounts. But part of it is going to be mine. And this is from the split or the, and just to fill you in case you don't already know on your side, Kevin Eck is on to his 6th company now in 5 years. So this is not a guy that treats the investors well, treats his customers well, treats anybody well. In fact, 4 of the 5 are still in litigation. So that should give you an idea of what kind of person this guy is. Okay, and I'm not going to say any more about that. We can leave that where that is. So what I'm asking is this. I would need a $200,000 line of credit. You can approve the transportation company. You can approve the client. You can approve the terms. And I can even set up the receivership to go through you. And these are retail 3PL accounts, which means they're prepaid, meaning there's money paid up front. You don't have to go through some factoring company or wait 30 days or whatever with some of your backhaul people. And I know you have a whole different thing there in Memphis. I know you have more normal freight in Memphis, and then you have the specialized plant, the flowers and the plant distributorships on the California and Florida. Now this is what I called you about.
In Memphis, it's pharmaceutical.
Say it again.
In Memphis, we are specializing in pharmaceutical.
Oh well, that's high dollar freight. That's very good freight.
Yes.
And that's a little bit above my head. That would be far above my head. What I want help with immediately is Starbucks coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, which is NDCP, Martin Bauer, which is the McDonald's account, and QCD, which is going to be the Starbucks account. Those accounts to keep control of and to go public, because I'm going to organize a new version of the stock. And you can look up the stock, ACGX. It's the original company that Kevin was part of, that he broke away from in 2018, right before we started discussing Amazon and everything else. Now, it's not going to be an actual turnaround of that stock, though it still could be. But it's a building of something like that. So what I'd like to do is work it out where you are making a percent on these routes and on these accounts. I would like you to be to meet with the investors and meet with this new transportation group, because there are other parties that like to see me not have it. So once again, I can work it out where the receivables go. We can work it out a lot of ways, but it would be a $200,000 line of credit. And the paperwork needs to be agreed to this month, and they want service beginning for them in January. They'd like service beginning now because they're short. They're actually 56 or 59 trucks short, I think. I don't know. I have to go look at what I had this morning. But a second one would be Reinhardt Foods. Now, let me just go over how this is going, the shortest version. Some of it is they're strictly buying the staffing contract, meaning the drivers. Others, they feel better subleasing me the equipment. I place the drivers, and they guarantee me, I believe it's $19,400 per truck is what one of the routes is guaranteeing me. And that's after all my costs. And it's a retail route. Now, there ends up being over 100 trucks in the whole combination. Now, I know this is a lot to call up with. It's certainly a lot to get hit with on a Thursday at 6 p.m. in Miami, your time, 5 p.m. here, our time. But I can have all the paperwork on your desk by next week, and you can start looking at the customers and looking at the people and making a decision.
Excellent. If we get the paper, then we can look have a good understanding, analyzing the project, it will be excellent.
Okay.
And we will be ready.
And I'd help you. And listen, on the pharmaceutical side, you need very responsible drivers. So on that side of the coin, if there is some good driver candidates that are maybe very good qualified that are in the Memphis area that say maybe live less than 100 miles from Memphis, I'd gladly help you put that together too. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to text you the stock symbol right now. You can look up this company. It's still being traded. I don't know how. Paul Sorkin and Steve St. Louis founded it in 2013 with $10 million. And the market cap value right now is less than $300,000. It's a disgrace. The investors are all angry. You've visited Chicago. You used to stay part of the time here or visit here? Years.
No, I lived in Chicago.
But what years though?
In 1970, just a moment.
Yeah, I forget too, believe me.
I made one master degree for marketing communication in the University, Roosevelt University in Chicago, and
There's University of Chicago, there's Northwestern, there's the UIC of Chicago, there's several. There's Northeastern, there's some, Chicago's got plenty of universities. But so you were here from the 70s into the 80s?
just a moment. I have to think one moment. I am confused.
Well, no, it's fine. It's fine. So, but what I'm trying to get at is, do you know the North Shore area, like from Evanston to Highland Park, and from the lakefront to maybe the Edens Expressway, and inland a little bit, as far as Deerfield and a few other places. It's anywhere from a middle class to a kind of an upscale. It's always been quiet. It's always been very kind of professional. It's always been away from the stupidity and crime and nonsense of Chicago. Well, there's 38 or 39 investors all live up there. And I've managed to get in touch with 26 of them, and I've managed to get probably will write a check from 19 of them. So I already have there's three other fleet options. I'll tell you, two of them are in California. They own, one of them already does retail. They're willing to give me the line of credit, and they're willing and want to help run the account. In fact, they want to run the account. They want to do the same in the LA area that I'd be doing here in the Chicago area. So they're going to end up having the operations control, which I don't like, but they will. And I worked for Knight for a year from 03 to 04. That's how I learned all this. And, Knight bought out Swift. And the history of the whole story. They're Mormons, the Mormon faith. The Knight brothers worked under the founder of Swift. They broke away in the 80s. They formed Knight. They started Knight officially on July 18th of 1990. And now Knight is the largest publicly traded trucking company in the United States. You know that, yes? Knight.
No, I didn't know.
No, not yeah. It's publicly traded. It's the largest, and it's Kevin, Larry, and Gary Knight are the three founders, and Mitch Atkinson is the number 9 guy in the company. I've known Mitch many years now. He's willing to do the line of credit, but he's too big of a guy, and I'm going to use it differently. They could eat me up in one day, and I don't need that. Now, the two other groups, I don't know them very well. Okay? I feel more comfortable working with people I know, as do you. Now, I'm going to get you the paperwork. I have a gentleman by the name of Robert Keller, who owns some financial businesses here in Chicago. He took over helping me starting in June. And I have 4 other really good people too. So let me get it on paper. I'm going to send you the stock symbol right now of the disaster. Now, what I had suggested to the angry investors was they finish buying out this disaster, and we could put this new project as part of the company, and immediately, within a short time, the stock will be worth a lot more. And it's just as an already open, functioning company. But everyone seems to have their own opinion, and I don't have a consensus yet. And I've had to keep trying to earn a living and keep trying to do things at the same time too. So let me do this. I'm going to send you, I'll call you tomorrow in the afternoon. I'll try to get like a 10-page version condensed, and I'll call you tomorrow afternoon. And once again, it's retail, and I'll send you all 4 companies and all 4 accounts tomorrow, okay?
That will be perfect. Take care.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Okay.